Welcome to the New Warehouse Podcast, the podcast for those that are curious about what's possible inside their four walls. Before we get into this episode, let's hear a word from our sponsors that make this all possible. If you want visibility from the boardroom to the warehouse floor, then you need IFS Softion's WMS powered by Industrial AI. IFS Softion's WMS combines deep industry expertise, robotics orchestration, and proven warehouse execution in a single seamless platform. With more than 2 decades of experience and a 100% deployment success rate, IFS Softion helps you optimize fulfillment operations and solve your complex warehouse challenges. Learn more at www.softion.com. That's www.softion.com. Thank you to our sponsors, and now let's get to the podcast. This episode was recorded on the floor at MODEX 2026 with Locus Robotics. And to see the robot that we are talking about, head over to the New Warehouse's YouTube channel. Just search for the New Warehouse or find the link in today's show notes.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey, it's Kevin with the New Warehouse Podcast here at MODEX 2026, and I am in one of the biggest booths at the show, Locus Robotics, and I'm joined by Kait Peterson here, and they got something new and exciting happening, and we're going to learn about that today. So, Kait, how's everything going?
It's going great. It's been a whirlwind couple of days, that's for sure.
Yeah. We're on day 3 here,
Yep.
So tell us, how's the energy?
Energy's been really good.
Yeah.
I haven't even had to have a Celsius yet, which is a huge testament to the amount of adrenaline and conversations we've been having.
Yes, absolutely. And there's something new here at the
There
booth,
is.
right? And I think it just rolled up behind us here.
It did.
So tell us a little bit about what is this new robot?
Yeah, so this is Locus Array. It's a fully autonomous fulfillment robot system. So it covers all of the workflows, all the way through the picking process, all the way to pack out.
Yeah.
So this robot right now is autonomously inducting order totes, and then it'll go into the aisle, pick the items into those order totes, and then drop the completed orders off at another location, whether that's a flow rack or a conveyor spur.
Yeah.
But all the work happens in the aisle on the robot. No people needed at all.
Yeah, fully autonomous picking, essentially, right?
It's more. It's fulfillment because the robot also
yeah.
does the put away function, replen,
Sure.
inventory counting, and reslotting. So, like, if you want to reslot certain inventory overnight,
okay, yeah.
the robot can handle that autonomously.
Very interesting. And obviously, a dramatically different look than like the
Very.
Origin bot, right? So tell us a little bit about, kind of the bot itself. I see there's, 6 levels here, right?
Yeah, so it's a 10-foot tall robot.
Okay.
So you can see the tote tower on both
Sure.
of these robots. It handles 6 orders of a varying size, so you can have different types of totes if you'd
Okay.
like.
Yeah, I see
And
short ones, tall ones.
Yeah, and you can subdivide the totes too, so you can get, more orders on the totes.
Different partitions, yeah.
Uh-huh. So you just saw the magazine carriage rise up, and on that is its ability to put the orders onto the robot,
Okay.
as well as use it to pull inventory on and off of the shelf.
Yeah.
You've got an arm, which you'll see in just a moment, the autonomous arm that makes all of the picks on robot.
Yeah.
And then down at the base, you actually have a steady omnidirectional base that has 4 points of pressure, so it's never at too heavy at any one point, but it can move omnidirectionally with an accuracy up to 5 millimeters. So it can get very accurate.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot going on here. I'm watching
ton.
this thing, right? I mean, there's a robotic arm. I see there's another gripper here that's pulling totes onto the robot itself, right? And lots of movement. So super interesting here. And now tell us a little bit about, because I mean, Locus was kind of a pioneer, I would say, like in the pick assist AMR side, right? And really like a big catalyst for that becoming a big thing, widespread, right, across many operations. And now moving away from, or not moving away, but adding, right, to it with this fully autonomous option versus the collaborative robot option. So tell us a little bit about like what was the catalyst to go after this and start to develop this?
Yeah, great question. So we've been working on this robot for over 3 years now. And the biggest comment that our customers came to us is labor. And you'll see our friend is going to go depart and do his picking mission. And he's got another one right behind him. So we've been developing it for over 3 years. It's actually been under vision for over 10 years since we started the company.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Labor is such a huge problem in terms of availability, cost, reliability, retention. So anything we can do to help our customers reduce dependency on labor. People aren't picking machines. It's not a fun job for most people. So we tried to make it as fun as we could with Origin. And there's still a lot of use cases for Origin, like mezzanines and smaller areas, things like fast pick zones. But for us, doing Array is really kind of the next version of the warehouse. We are also operators. So we come from a 3PL. We come from operating warehouses. So we've had an opportunity to learn everything that didn't quite work with the other solutions. Things like inventory stuck in a grid system, or every time something travels on a rack, it gets jostled around and it's not available to be picked. So we took all of that consideration, broke the problems apart, and said, okay, what does our customer want? They want storage density maximized. So the 10 feet of storage density plus the multiple types of cube space. To maximize that, they want to minimize labor and they want to increase their operational capacity 24/7. So all three things are in this platform, and it's all on Locus One. So all of the robots combined cover 100% of their SKUs, which is another ask because a lot of customers are trying to say, I want this robot for this type of product, and I need this robot for this type of product, because we all order hats and socks and shoes all together, right? So
absolutely, and very interesting to hear that, and kind of the evolution of how you've gotten to this bot now, and now it's out in the world. Obviously, a little secretive at ProMat last year, kind of like hid in a little bit, but now it's out here. It's moving around. It's doing its thing. So the picking. I mean, obviously, I see the picking arm, right, is pulling the products and putting it into the order tote, right, to be able to do that. But you also mentioned it does inventory counting. So
it does.
How does that work? I see some cameras on here. So tell us a little bit about that feature.
So all of the cameras, including on the arm and in the carriage right there, are AI driven. So it can identify the items, particularly items that might be hard to pick or create optical illusions or delicate or need a specific grasp point. The cameras identify that. So what it does is it sees the full tote, and I'll show you in just a little bit on the pick. It sees the full tote, and it can make that assessment of the inventory that's in those totes. So if it'll also pull an empty tote, so if it knows the tote is empty, it will tell the system it's empty, and then it'll come back to pick up all the empty totes so they can be refilled.
Interesting. Yeah. As a former inventory control manager, I was very interested in that feature and how that works. But that's fantastic, and utilizing those computers to be able to, or the cameras to be able to recognize that, I think is really interesting. So now tell us a little bit about, because I see behind us here over on this side of the booth, right? We have the shelving where all the totes are stored. So what does that mean from like an infrastructure perspective if you're going to implement this bot?
It's actually very lightweight. It's all standard totes and racking. We have launched our systems integrator program with High-Tech, Fargo, and Zion this week here at MODEX. So from a customer lift perspective, it's very, very low because the customer owns and gets to select the totes and racking. And we RAS the robots. So just everything that everybody has come to love about the RAS relationship with Origin and Vector, we're doing the same thing with Array. So all of that optimization, the maintenance, the over-the-air updates, and then as technology improves, we're able to continue to provide that to customers. So it's really super low lift. The customer that we announced this week, DHL, their site was up in 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty fast for a fully autonomous workflow.
Especially like something brand new, too.
Especially something brand new and so big. So we're super excited about how easy it is to implement.
Yeah, interesting. And then in terms of like because, obviously the gripper technology, right, has been evolving over the years, right? And I think it's gotten to a great level of the high percentage of items that it can handle. Are there any limitations on product type or anything that the Array can not handle or deal with?
I mean, anything that doesn't fit in it, right? It's
sure,
not
yeah, of
pick
course.
a bowling ball.
Yeah.
We did an analysis of our customers' SKUs.
Okay.
So we've done over 7 billion picks in
Yeah.
our network. And so we analyzed all of our customers' SKUs, and we said we need to be able to pick 60 to 70% of those SKUs.
Okay.
So we looked at those items. They're all typically under 4 or 5 pounds, all within a certain dimension. Those are the ones that our customers are most often picking. So that's what we focused Array on to start with.
Got it.
We do have a lab where we're continually improving our picking technology.
Okay.
And we've got some exciting new tech that will be coming out shortly.
More stuff coming?
More stuff
Okay.
to be able to pick more things.
Yeah.
But we handle a variety of things, from delicate items where we can pick and place, where we're not dropping,
Yeah.
to tubes and makeup and all kinds of things. And when we show you the picking, you'll see all the wide variety that it can pick.
All right. Very interesting. So very interesting to hear about the kind of evolution to get to this point and everything behind it and what's happening here and the functionality. So let's go over and take a look at the picking.
Thanks, Kevin. So you'll see Array is actually able to pick on both sides of the aisle. And this is a very narrow aisle.
Okay.
So Array is going to find its next order location. It's going to identify the inventory tote that it needs to pull from. And then it's going to make that pick. So it knows that it needs to make a pick down here. It's going to line up right with the shelf. It pulls the inventory tote onto its carriage, identifies the item, makes the pick, and then if that item doesn't need to be in other orders, it'll put it away.
Yeah.
But if it needs to be in more than one order, it'll actually keep the inventory tote on the carriage and swap out the order totes. So it'll make the pick live at
interesting.
different heights, which is pretty cool.
Okay. And
So
is the Locus one kind of batching that?
Yeah. So
Smartly, yeah.
when the robot is inducted with those those order totes at the beginning, it's already consolidated and optimized based off of the Locus One platform.
Okay.
So because of our intelligence that we've developed with Locus Array or Locus Origin and Vector,
Sure.
we're able to know how closely to consolidate orders. We also know exactly where all the inventory is, so we can cluster those picks in close locations. So Array doesn't have to travel as far. You can see this order is taking a few units of the same item, and then it'll continue on its picks throughout the rest of the aisle. You'll see this aisle is pretty narrow, but
Yeah.
you can also see the different tote sizes, so you can really
I do
maximize.
see. Yeah.
maximize.
See, like this size too is
Yeah, this
shorter
is
here,
shorter,
right?
and then that one's wider. So you can have, sweaters and big ones, and you can have your little lip glosses and things and smaller ones.
Yeah. I always need a sweater with my lip gloss. Yeah,
I know,
definitely,
right?
Yeah, of course. So I'm curious too, as I'm observing here. I see there's a QR code. It looks like on the arm itself, the
Yeah.
gripper. Like what is reading that?
It's just for localization to make
Okay.
sure that the camera knows what it's looking at. So it's not actually reading the QR code. You'll see it's dropping off its complete orders, and
Yeah.
so it's gonna drop everything off autonomously and start the whole process all over again.
All right, fascinating. So for all of the different functionalities, because we just saw the pick, right? But you talked about also the replenishment, the put away. It's basically the same kind of workflow. It's just doing different actions like behind the scenes, essentially.
Yeah, behind the scenes. So imagine that you're a warehouse operator and you know that your orders coming in the week are going to be a different style than they were the week before. So
Okay.
your inventory needs to be managed differently, right?
Yeah.
The system will look at what the projected orders are, tell Array to reslot how the inventory is overnight.
Okay.
So in the morning, you come in with totally optimized order profiles.
Yeah.
Or Array can pick all night and buffer everything at like a flow rack or a conveyor. And so the team can start packing first thing in the morning. So you don't lose that extra time.
Yeah.
Because we all know the graveyard shift sucks. So
Yeah.
we don't want to work that. We'll let Array do that.
Absolutely. And I think it's super interesting to see that. Obviously here, the different functionalities coming from the same bot, right? To be able to do all of those different things. And it's been fantastic to see, the pick in action here and see it finally moving and see, what you guys have been building up over the last, year with a little bit of hype. So very exciting to see this live and in action, and looking forward to kind of see the evolution of this as well.
Yeah.
And also, whatever you tease that's coming up in a little bit too as well. Excited to hear about that. So if people are interested in learning more about Array, or maybe they're interested in getting in their own operation, what's the best way to do that?
LocusRobotics.com is probably the best place to start. It's a lot live at customer sites today, so we're excited to work on our next round of deployments. The waiting list is long, so tell people to get on it.
Get on the waiting list.
I know. But yeah, fully autonomous fulfillment. It's what we've been working for a long time. So thanks for letting me show it to you guys.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks for showing us. And we'll definitely put all the information about Array at thenewwarehouse.com, as well as in these show notes. And let us know what you think about Array. And if you want to get on the wait list, like she said, make sure you do it now.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Enjoyed this episode? Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast, and for more content from the New Warehouse, find us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Links to subscribe can be found in the show notes, and for everything The New Warehouse, head to thenewwarehouse.com.